brought to you by the Mississippi State University College of Business. With well over $2 million in scholarships this year, Dean Scott Grawl would like to see you. Call today, book a tour of the campus, see everything that they are doing in the MSU College of Business on the campus of Mississippi State University with over $2 million in scholarships. And we'll have Dean Scott Grawl on again. Again, he was recruited by Ron Polk out of high school, but decided to go to Iowa State because it was close to home. It's an unbelievable story. It's even better when Ron Polk gives him a hard time about not going to Mississippi State, but he is now dean of the School of Business at MSU, at the College of Business, and you should be glad to have him. He's doing a great job, and they're doing some amazing things. Both my kids are in the College of Business at MSU. And Ella Hall somehow is graduating early. I don't know where that came from. But Dad's okay with it as far as the pocketbook and all of that. You know, we can go ahead and knock this college. I'm having a blast, but if we can knock it out, then, you know, maybe they get on something called a salary, or just start generating some kind of money or revenue like you can in so many different ways and shapes and forms this day and age. Also, the show is, we're on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. And speaking of game day today and throughout the weekend, BetMGM is the king of sports books, and the Beau Ravage's BetMGM Book Bar and Grill is the South's premier Vegas-style sports book. Visit a live betting window, self-service kiosk, or use the BetMGM app to place your bets on your favorite games and sporting events. The app offers free-to-play promotions, live betting options, and boosted odds specials at your fingertips. Experience the action at BetMGM Book, Bar, and Grill, only at the Beau Rivage on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We're also streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. We would like for you to tell us if you went to Mistletoe, what you were able to see, how much fun it was, and if you're hungover. Let us know on the Mac Hike Auto Group text line, 601-885-3776. We want to welcome in Roll Tide Ron Fowler, 109 The Game, Tuscaloosa, Bama at LSU this weekend. I think he's in Orange Beach. He's also Donald Trump's #1 fan in the state of Alabama. What's up, buddy?
I am. And, you know, the country was crimson. Did you guys notice that? I mean, it was beautiful. I thought
it was Georgia red.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was crimson.
Okay.
It was crimson. And, you know, it's good. I mean, it's amazing. You ever think about this? You know, as much fun as people poke fun at Mississippi and Alabama, right? Because we are the punchline for many jokes.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of do it the right way when we talk about counting votes and having to show identification to vote. I mean, isn't it great that we live in a state that, you know, is able to have a fair election? And, I mean, we have people right now that are still counting votes in certain states.
Florida had all their votes counted in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, that's a state that's run well. It's that simple.
Yeah. And, I mean, Nevada.
What is that, 20 million people? 22 million people in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, quite I think that's a number. Yeah, and they counted it, as you said, less than 2 hours. They had the numbers and the results certified. Arizona's still counting. And then you and I, no, I mean, they are. They are. And,
are they really?
And
I tuned out after yesterday morning. I had to actually go make a living and you know, get back into the thing. But is Arizona still counting votes?
Arizona, and then
how's that possible?
And then the state that you and I depend on, Nevada's still counting too.
You can fly around the world twice in that amount of time in an airplane.
Well, I think we all know what they're doing.
But they already called it for Trump.
Well, no, this is the House.
I got it. These are other seats. I'm with you.
Yeah,
all right. Okay.
Yeah. So
I can't follow all that. I'm with you. I'm glad you do, and we need people to do that. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch CNBC. I don't watch CNN, but I did watch them Tuesday. Okay. And I don't watch ABC, NBC, CBS unless there's a ball game on it. But man, it's just cuckoo for Cocoa. I thought sports was crazy. Good hell. My goodness.
I mean, it is. It is crazy. But, you know, and really what we witnessed the last couple of days, the legacy media, CBS, ABC.
They're done.
They're done.
See, because Rogan and Les Friedman and Tucker Carlson and even Dana White, even though he's not in the podcast world, but what he does, those guys were among many others podcast, because you and I podcast and we do live streaming, but these guys they swim at the 0.01%. It was already trending that way. And really their audience is 60 plus, 65 plus, which that's who votes. But there was a massive disruption in this election because of new media, of where you're going, Ron, which you and I are in new media. We both do radio, but we do new media too. And it was just, it's fascinating that we're in media and we're in the podcasting world, and Elon and Rogan and Lex Friedman and Dana White and Tucker disrupted the election. It's insane. I never thought it would. I just never thought I'd see this. It's crazy.
Well, and see, it tells you people are hungry for the truth. They know that they've been manipulated. And I tell you, the biggest thing that I want to take away, and I know you've got a very diverse audience that listens to you, is the numbers of minorities who came to the Crimson side.
Yeah.
That to me is probably one of the most, it's the biggest part of this election, because Democrats have abused minorities for years and years and years. And conservatives has always said, we want to offer you a seat at the table. But now what Donald Trump needs to do is he needs to deliver for those minority communities. Those communities, he showed them the importance. They returned and voted for him. He delivers on this. This could be a big blow for the Democratic Party, because for too long they've lied to minorities. They've told them that they care about them, but their actions really don't speak that way.
Did you watch the Sky News broadcast? Like the clip of the dude? I didn't even know this. It's Australian news.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, this guy was no BS, right? So I think that place probably skews liberal too, but he was in D.C. and he's I guess a correspondent for Sky News, and I mean he just ripped the Band-Aid off on it. Said, "Look, man, y'all have you've been brainwashed. New media is now going to be able to tell people I want both sides. I want people to hear both sides, okay, and then decide for themselves, but not just one." And that's what happened for decades, obviously, through the newspapers and the main channels that you're describing. But it's fascinating, man, that Elon and Rogan and Tucker, these guys on Twitter and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube disrupted this thing.
Yeah, it is. It's a great day and a great week for America, and it's going to be even better for Alabama on Saturday.
Okay, so let's talk about this. This is a college football playoff elimination game. We're visiting with Ryan Fowler, Roll Tide Ryan Fowler, 109 The Game, Tuscaloosa. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. If you lose, you're out.
True.
So,
true statement.
So, here we are, year one, Kalen DeBoer.
Okay.
And you've got a good team. Nobody's great.
Nobody.
We're still trying to figure out exactly how good Georgia, Texas is. I don't know about Ohio State. But and then you got good teams like you and Ole Miss and Tennessee, and I think LSU's good and A&M. But anyway, there's not much difference. Are y'all going to go? I mean, what do you think? Are you going over there and is DeBoer winning under the lights in Baton Rouge in year one?
If he does, then I think that message will be there. When you look back at first-year head coaches, he has a chance to understanding. You go back to the 20s and we played fewer games, but he has a chance, if he can do what we think he's capable of doing in the month of November, he has a chance to surpass every first-year head coach in Alabama football history. He's on track right now to win more games. Yes, Nick Saban, Coach Paul Bear,
6-6.
Wallace. Yeah, I mean, Wallace Wade, all these guys. I mean, he has a chance. This team has battled a lot of injuries. You mentioned the new college football, and if you don't have an allegiance to like Mississippi State or Ole Miss or LSU or Alabama, then you love it, right? I mean, it's created chaos. TV ratings are off the charts, but it is a big, recalibration for your eyes. And I've tried to coach my audience up of understanding of saying, hey, you guys going to have to back off of the expectation of every year winning a national title. And man, they couldn't deal with that. I mean,
no.
guys, it's just not real anymore. It's a system designed to prevent that from happening. I mean, this system was designed, named after Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and the other coaches that were dominating at the top. They wanted to spread the love, and they did. And this is the new college football. 40 new players on Alabama's roster, new system, new coaches all over the place. It took a little bit for everybody to grasp what he was trying to do. I think Alabama's in a really good spot coming out of this bye week. They needed this bye week to get healthy. It's here in front of them. They go to Baton Rouge. Vegas believes in Alabama. If this was on a neutral field, it'd be about a 6. It's -3 for Alabama. If Jalen Milroe goes down, has the game mobility-wise that Texas A&M showed you, and if LSU fixes it, then you should have a lot of production in the back end of that secondary. So there's some ways to attack and LSU's explosive offense, but they can't run the football. They cannot run the football. Let that sink in.
Neither can Ole Miss. Georgia's actually better, but they're not like dominant. I think we've got an offensive lineman crisis. Actually, that we really haven't, because that's not fun. I mean, we want to talk about Milroe and Dart and Nussmeier and Carson Beck and the wide receivers, and that's just kind of how it is. I mean, look, man, your game, just like Ole Miss and Georgia, it's going to come down the line of scrimmage, my man. Who can put their hand in the ground and maybe not dominate all night, but dominate situationally at the right time. Fowler.
All right, you mentioned an offensive line, and see, I love to talk offensive line, and I know it's kind of boring, but I think it's worth going back and talking because of the transfer portal. That line is a development position. It takes a little bit. You don't come in year number 1 for most people and snap your fingers and become a dominant SEC lineman. But I don't think the current college football structure sets up for patience. And the problem is if they don't play early, they transfer. They hit the transfer button. So
I think that's going to settle down a little bit. It's been the thing to do for any kid who's like, I'm not playing, I'm gone. But I think in the next couple of cycles, there will still be a large number moving around, but I think it's going to settle a little bit. Go ahead, Ron Fowler.
Well, and here's another part that we have not talked about with the election. I think Ross Dellinger was one of the first that reminded us, but Ted Cruz winning his seat out in Texas, or getting reelected, he's going to be appointed. And I was told that you got to think from a standpoint of protecting the structure of college football. We know that Donald Trump's a big college football fan. Ted Cruz has met with Nick Saban multiple times to try to design a system with a executive branch that is conservative, with a Supreme Court that has a lot of right-leaning people, and then also both, if you can win the House, the legislative branches, the executive branch, guys, we may get some help on the college football scene. And a few months ago, we didn't even think that was a possibility. Now, and Ross Dellinger was the first one that kind of pointed this out, Tuesday night may have been a big win for college football and putting some parameters around this. Not saying that athletes don't deserve some NIL money. That's not what I'm saying. But putting it in a way that the system is more sustainable for the long term. That may be something that we're all missing from the election.
Interesting. Okay. Ron Fowler.
Did you see his tweet? Did you see Ross Dellinger's tweet?
I did not. I'll go back and look at that. That makes sense because nothing's been done the last 18 months. So, I know that talking to people like you talked to, they wanted some things to happen in Congress, but nothing's happened. So maybe we can get some things rolling and going and like you said, get some more structure and parameters in place so that this thing can work a little bit more streamlined. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, and we're brought to you by Core Wellness and Recovery, IV therapy, cryotherapy, and TED Hair Restoration, which they're having tremendous amount of success. If you're showing hair loss, early signs, you want to go to Core Wellness and Recovery in the township. They have this unbelievable state-of-the-art equipment called TED Hair Restoration, Core Wellness and Recovery in the township. We're visiting with Ron Fowler, 109 The Game, Tuscaloosa, huge game. This is an elimination game for Kalen DeBoer and Brian Kelly. So, Brian Kelly's in year 3. He needs to get something going. They're kind of down there. And then DeBoer, have your people been just absolutely freaking out because y'all have lost 2 games to two Tennessee teams, Vanderbilt and Tennessee?
No. Listen, my wife has a PhD in the therapy side of things, as far as health of the brain, and teaches and does research and all these different things. She's certified. I'm not a certified therapist, but I've played one this year. I mean, I really have. I mean, I've tried to convince.
Good for you.
I mean, I have prevented so many people from jumping off the bridge in Tuscaloosa. It literally. I mean, I hope at some point they'll give me the key to the city, because I've saved firefighters from having to go in the river and get people out. It has been listen, and I'm trying to tell them that, listen, you're going to enjoy college football. It's just going to be different. It's going to be different. And I do believe that Kalen DeBoer is the guy for the job. I think when you look at the way he's had to handle it, and there'll be some stories that I hope will be told. I know those, but those are off record. But the first couple of months, the things that he did to build community with his team. And, it's almost like the substitute teacher. It's like it's the stepdad. He doesn't want to make the new wife married, the mom, upset that he just married. So it's almost like he can teach the kids, but he can't really go extreme because of this new portal system, right? Think about the system that we're in. That 30-day period when a coach is fired or retired or resigns, that's a dumb rule because you don't get a chance to replenish your roster. I mean, think about that. I mean, any employer out there.
Are you trying to get me to feel sorry for Alabama? I'm not.
Well, no, I'm not asking you to. I'm just trying to state the facts.
Any okay.
Employer.
I mean, I'm okay if y'all get docked 15 scholars a year or 20.
Oh, I know, but that's okay. I mean, we're the king, and everybody bows to the king and takes shots at the king, and it's very similar to Donald Trump, right? I mean, it's from what he's able to provide, he's a threat, and we're a threat to the system.
Alabama football and Donald Trump are a threat to the system. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
right.
we've been kicking butt and taking names for a long time. Let me run through the credentials. 18 national titles. 30
Some of those are
SEC
bogus, but whatever.
Titles. Okay, 30 SEC titles, 147 first-team All-Americans, 77 postseason appearances, 45 postseason games, NCAA all-time scoring leader, 4 Heisman winners, and the greatest football coaches to ever walk the sidelines.
I agree with the last part.
Alabama
Coach Paul Bear Bryant and Nick Saban, both goats.
We've had a lot of butt kickers.
Hey, can I tell you what I did? A couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I had a guy. He contacted me a couple of weeks ago. He came up to the studio. He's doing he's done documentaries for HBO and Amazon and all kinds of cool stuff. He's doing a documentary on Jackie Sherrill, who played for Coach Paul Bear Bryant, won a national championship.
Awesome. Yeah. He was back on campus a couple of weeks ago, months ago.
Yeah, he hit both Mississippi State and Alabama, so he was recognized in Starkville. I guess in the MSU Hall of Fame, which he should have. And then of course y'all did some things for him in the documentary. I don't know how I made it, but Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett, Hugh Green, Barry Switzer, and there's more. There's some teammates that you would know too. So, Jackie had an unbelievable career at Washington State, Pitt, Texas A&M, and MSU. So I thought you'd want to know that there's a documentary coming out on on Cheryl, who played for Coach Paul Bear Bryant.
Well, and another Mississippi State title. Listen, I respect Mississippi State. I got a lot of friends that travel over. Believe it or not, if you want to go into forestry, or if you want to go into animal science, or as you mentioned, the business school, we have a lot of people in that West Alabama area that travels over to Starkville because they don't want to go to Auburn, which is so smart. I mean, if you're going to go be a veterinarian, go to Mississippi State. Don't go be a bug. Nobody wants to be blue and orange. We love Mississippi State, but Sylvester.
By the way, that vet school is brutal. It is so good. What they've done on the equestrian side is insane. I heard about the starting salary and bonuses a couple of weeks ago for the students out of the vet school. My jaw. I did a show at Luva Wine Bar in Starkville, and the two biggest recruiters in the vet world had been there recruiting senior or last year in vet school students, Ryan Fowler.
Okay.
And they told me what the starting salary and bonuses were. My jaw dropped, my man. It was just.
Should we go back to school? Bud?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, what? Crazy.
Okay.
But yeah. So go ahead.
No, do you think we're going to win Saturday? I mean, do you feel
I have no idea because Nussmeier is good enough to hurt your secondary. Do you have a better team? Yes. Slightly, but you do have a better team. Both DeBoer and Kelly are outstanding coaches. I think you have a slightly better staff because Kelly's missed on some things he's got to get cleaned up. Now, hiring Bo Davis was smart down there, as you know, because y'all had him. That was a smart move that I think is actually going to pay off even more next year for LSU, Ron, as they get their act together in the defensive front. But I'm really interested to see what your offensive line does and it's same thing in Oxford. All four offensive lines, who is going to play just a little bit better situationally, especially, keeping your quarterback clean and then in the red zone. But I give Bama just a slight edge, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nussmeier hurts your feelings in the fourth quarter. That kid is a gamer. Be good, buddy. Love you.
Hey, appreciate all those Patriots over for the Magnolia State. Salute to all you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great week, man. Thank you.
Okay, buddy. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by Core Wellness and Recovery in the Township. They have something called TED Hair Restoration. I call it R2D2. If you're showing early signs of hair loss, male or female, they're having a lot of success. State-of-the-art piece of equipment. Okay? No needles, no pain. Core Wellness and Recovery in the Township. Plus, they have the IV therapy, red light therapy, and cryotherapy at Core Wellness and Recovery in the Township.